All you vinyl varmints, all you record collecting crew, have I got a box of records for you. Hey Shadow Man.
Hey there.
I'd like to thank you for opening up Studio F to me once again. I think for episode number 4.
Quattro.
Here it is. Yeah.
And a good day to you and everybody out there
And
watching.
a good day to everybody out there. That's right.
Happy
Hey,
Sunday.
today we're going to do some soundtracks today, actually. But what I consider rock and roll soundtracks. Now, I've really left out a lot of the obvious things. The Hard Day's Night, Help, the Woodstock albums, the Elvis albums, you know, The Wall, God forbid, that horrible Sgt. Pepper with the Bee Gees. But anyway, we won't go down that rabbit hole, but hopefully these are a little more unusual ones from the rock and roll era, as they say. And I think that's our acknowledgements. Now, we're going to start with this. This isn't the Beatles. This is the George Martin soundtracks from Hard Day's Night. So this is on United Artists too. So I think they probably sold a few less of these. Pretty cool albums. See, and the same with the Help album. Again, George Martin, just the orchestral sections. Orchestral. Enunciate clearly here now. And there he is, George Martin. That's not one of the Beatles. Okay. The Ferry Across the Mersey album. Now this movie, if you've ever had the pleasure of seeing this, I mean, it opens up with some kids playing in the streets of Liverpool. And you'd think it was 1864, you know, instead of being 1964. I can't believe they were playing in the mud with sticks and everything. Like, what a dismal. And it's black and white and everything, but still interesting because of their historical value in the British invasion. And Jerry just died. Did I say Gary before? I always do that by mistake because it's a G, but Jerry Marsden just passed away.
Did he really?
Oh, no, about a month ago or so, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I do know that.
And the Dave Clark 5 had to get their movie too, Having a Wild Weekend. And they're pretty different, like, because they play like physical fitness guys in this and everything, working out in the gym and everything. It's not the impression that you got from the Rolling Stones or anything.
No.
No, they're like, it's still an interesting movie. And like, The Small Faces did a movie. I've got some on DVD, but I don't have the soundtrack albums. Like most of the British invasion, Spencer Davis, I believe they all did some kind of film. As did Herman, of course. Hold On, this is under a couple different titles. I've heard it before, but this is the Hold On album again from the movie. And you know, there's another one of these albums you can do. Peter Noon with Me Too Fins. Me Too Fins.
Fang.
Yeah, Fang, yeah. Oh, we did Phyllis Diller before.
Oh, no, was it Fang or Tooth? I can't remember.
Tooth. Oh, in Fang was also in Paul Revere and the Raiders.
Okay.
There was a Fang in there too, and
You got me
of course
again.
Phyllis Diller's husband. Now this is the Beach Party movie. Now this is in here, you know, because of the movie and everything. But I'm quite not disappointed. But I thought that, you know, Eric Von Zipper and Don Rickles and all the people that were in these things, it would be a bit more.
An original Musketeer.
Yeah. So it's pretty
you-
well just the Annette and Frankie end of that stuff. It's not the Tim Carey or Maury Amsterdam or the things that made those movies interesting. Okay. Head, the Monkees.
Wow.
Now, not a big success at the time. Written by Jack Nicholson, same Jack Nicholson. And you see him in it for a little bit. But there's some good stuff on here. I think the Porpoise song and all that. I know a lot of people are quite fond of this album. This is when they were taking more of a hold of their own career, or near the end of the big career of the Monkees. That's a really interesting movie. Get a chance to see it. Victor Mature's in it. And again, Tim Carey and Frank Zappa. Yeah, Zappa's in it for a little cameo, but he was on the Monkees too. Okay, Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. Now, I'm really surprised to have a copy of this that doesn't have a cutout. snipped off because they had like tons of these. This wasn't what people wanted to hear from Dylan or something at the time. Now I started watching this movie out of curiosity. It's Sam Peckinpah Western with all sorts of people in it, you know, James Colburn, very cool. But I watched it originally because of Dylan, but ended up just liking the movie, you know. It is really cool to sit through. There's a couple different versions of it. And then there's Chris Christopherson. R.G. Armstrong's pulling his hair. Repent, repent.
Sam Peckinpah. So it is as bloody as most Sam Peckinpah movies are?
It is.
Yeah, that's right.
It is violent. Somebody gets shot with a shotgun full of dimes and everything, and it's all chunky, you know, the usual stuff. And just as miserable and sexist and everything as all his movies. This is unusual. Johnny Cash and Carl Perkins. And this is called Little Foss and Big Halsey, which is Robert Redford and Michael J. Pollard, the infamous Michael J. Pollard from Bonnie and Clyde and, well, God knows, Michael J. Pollard, all sorts of stuff. But there he is.
Wow.
This is where the buffalo roam. Now, this one is the first movie they made about Hunter Thompson. And it's not the Johnny Depp one later on, Fear and Loathing Right. This is the first one where Bill Murray's playing Hunter S. Thompson. And it's mostly Neil Young.
I see we have Dylan, Hendrix.
Yep. Pretty good thing. And
Temptations.
actually, Neil Young does the "Oh, give me a home," you know, he does Where the Buffalo Roam. It's sun, all right. This is the Hollywood Studios making kind of a youth film about, you know, disenfranchised youth in the late 60s. But the thing that makes this interesting is what music was available to them now. You know, got Buffalo Springfield and Cream and Led Zeppelin and everything. Imagine making a movie now and using the real soundtracks. Mm. Or at least one of those crappy documentaries that never wants to pay for the real music.
Yeah, we'll hire a band.
Or hire a band, yeah. Or something, oh, geez, it sounds kind of like your old stuff. Cruising. Now, this is an Al Pacino, big in the leather gay community murders. Real lurid movie, but Willie DeVille does most of the music on this. Mink DeVille, of course, the band. But this is an interesting addition from the kind of New York school where Willie was so underrated. I love his albums. First couple produced by Jack Nietzsche, did the Stones, and Phil Spector, of course, and everybody. Okay. Rock and Roll High School. I think you lost, Miss Togar. Ugly, ugly people. And this is wonderful because it's got some Ramones stuff that's only available here. There's an MC5 and Alice Cooper doing Schools Out and everything. Mm-hmm. I love this movie. You know, it's so stupid, but the Ramones are stupid with 2 O's. Stupid. They knew. New York stupid. But this is... Now, this is a little more conventional in a way of soundtrack albums. But this was Man with the Golden Arm. This is the Frank Sinatra Junkie movie. And the reason I've got this is because Johnny Thunders used to use this when he came up on stage. And anytime I can make a Johnny Thunders New York Dolls reference, and, you know, I'm having a good day. And spreading the gospel here. Although that's not the right word to use for it. Anyway. Shadow Man, who loves the Rolling Stones more than I do?
The Rolling Stones.
Maybe, yeah, loves himself more than... But everybody knows, who knows me, I love the Rolling Stones, you know?
I imagine you could do a half an hour on their albums.
Oh, I could do. I'm going to do a Rolling Stones oddity show sometime. But you get this big fold out and everything. But you know, the thing is, I've sat through this once and man, it's a terrible movie. I think you know, I'd give it every chance in the world because it is Mick and it's interesting to see him on stage. But
I see you.
He only sings one song on here, and it's mostly Waylon Jennings. Yeah. Well, I don't mind Waylon, but
I don't either.
This is...
Waylon Jennings.
Anyway.
And,
but we will redeem Mick Jagger's involvement on film with our final soundtrack. The soundtrack
that's
all
you.
time performance. Made in 1968, didn't come out till 71. I might have watched this movie more than any other film, other than maybe Kiss Me Deadly or Give Me Shelter. But this is really something, and Jack Nitze, again, did a lot of the soundtrack on this. Tons of slide and atmospheric craziness, and Memo from Turner with Mick Jagger sings. It's just anybody who's any interested in British rock and roll or the Rolling Stones or any of those genres should own a copy of this. But it's all just conjecture and opinion, isn't it? And I hope you enjoyed it today, Shadow Man.
2 thumbs up, buddy.
Oh, geez, thank you so much. And we've got some other additions in the work, a few plans.
Excellent.
So I'm going to relax here between our Charo and our Santo and Johnny album. Is that what that is? Or no, it's a surf album.
It's a surfing album of some sort.
Okay.
Is that it?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right, everybody.
What more is there to say?
Good day.
Okay, good day.